I'm expecting a few videos to drop today on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and check back later on to see what we've put out for today, especially since it's finale day. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on, but first, yesterday we got a brand new scene from the finale, one of the things that I'm most excited about for this finale and the future of The Chosen. So let's jump into this, watch this scene, and then we'll break it down. Here we go.
I love you. I do not want to see you suffer.
The Son of Man must suffer many things.
No. I can't hear this.
The prophet Isaiah gave you many warnings.
Yes. Yes. He was despised and rejected by men. A man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. They were just words on a scroll. Now that they are about you, flesh and blood. It's another story.
A story nearing its end.
So really interesting stuff here for sure. Obviously, we're seeing Lazarus and Jesus here, probably at Lazarus's home in episode 7 is my guess. Maybe episode 8 as they're kind of preparing to return to Jerusalem. This is a really interesting scene here. So let's kind of break it down piece by piece. We'll walk through it in terms of dialogue and what's kind of actually happening here.
I love you.
So, of course, this first off is Lazarus after the resurrection that he's had from the dead, right? And so this is him being raised, and now he is back alive, right? No longer sick, and he's with everybody here. This is obviously a huge deal. In John chapter 11, we see that Lazarus is raised. And then in John chapter 12, not only at the bottom of John chapter 11 do we see a plot to kill Jesus, which we're seeing kind of being formed in The Chosen, but also in John chapter 12, we see a plot to kill Lazarus as well. Now, of course, in The Chosen, at least they're not successful, and historically, we don't really know what happened with Lazarus, where he died, when he died, how he died. We don't really have any proof of that or evidence of that other than a tomb that is in Israel today in Bethany. So outside of all of that, we don't know what really happens with Lazarus after his resurrection. So this is a moment here where we get to explore that a little bit. Now, of course, Lazarus is going through a lot of things in season 4, not only his sickness, death, and then his raising, but here we're seeing him really start to understand who Jesus is. Obviously, he believed in Jesus even before he died, but he wasn't really like fully understanding who Jesus was or what he's here to do. And so in this scene here, and I'm sure in others as well, we're going to see him begin to understand more and more what is actually happening. And of course, here he's terribly upset that Jesus is going to have to go through all of these things that he's talking about here. It's becoming way more real for certain people. Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and now Lazarus here as well.
I do not want to see you suffer.
I do not want to see you suffer. The Son of Man must suffer many things. And of course, he's going to go into Isaiah here.
Son of Man must suffer many things.
No. I can't hear this.
The prophet Isaiah gave you many warnings.
And of course, this is the thing that is so true about all the Jews of the day during Jesus' time, is that they had all of these prophecies. They had all of these foretellings of what the Messiah was going to be like, and yet they just still did not know what was going to be happening here. And so having Jesus talk to his best friend, right, like this is such a heartbreaking moment for sure. Dallas even said on Instagram this is one of his favorite scenes.
Yes. Yes. He was despised and rejected by men.
Right, and all of this stuff we're seeing in real time. He was despised and rejected by men.
A man of sorrows, acquainted the grief.
And this is really the theme of season 4 so far, especially when it comes to Jesus. Now, of course, Jesus doesn't need any character development. He's not learning from this, but he still is a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. And so this is a really heavy time for him. Jesus doesn't need to grow, right? He's perfect. And so in his state as he is, in his ministry, there are a ton of people that are rejecting him. There are a ton of men that are rejecting him, either the Romans or the religious leaders. And of course, we're going to find out that more and more going into season 5 and season 6. It's going to get more intense. It's going to get heavier and heavier until Jesus is crucified and then until he's resurrected, right? All of that. And so he's going to be rejected not only by the people that dislike him, but also the people that love him. And so we're going to see Peter deny him. We're going to see all the rest of the apostles deny him and kind of get scattered a bit. This is what he knows is upcoming. And he knows exactly what's going to happen, that he's going to die. He's going to be raised 3 days later. And then he's going to have all of his people kind of run away from him until he comes back. And so, really, really hard stuff to carry there. And we don't often think about that in the human side of Jesus. We think about the pain that he went through, but we don't often think about the emotional stress and the things that he had to actually walk through day to day on earth.
They were just words on a scroll. Now that they are about you, flesh and blood.
So yeah, that's really, really interesting. They were just words on a scroll, but now that they're about you, flesh and blood, it changes things, right? When we have a relationship with Jesus, it changes the way in which we interact with Jesus. So regardless if you're Lazarus actually living life with him, or you're us who have a relationship with him, do we let him impact our lives? Do we see it then more than just words on a page or words kind of floating up to the sky, right, when we pray to him? There's a very tangible way that we can look at Jesus, and oftentimes we don't. Oftentimes they are just words on a page, and we don't allow them to become real here. So I love that line there. Really, really good.
It's another story.
A story nearing its end.
Really interesting stuff. I'm really looking forward to the rest of this scene as well. I know there's more to it than what they're showing us, as there always is when they show us these little snippets of new scenes. Really, really excited for the future of what's to come with the last 2 episodes, but also into season 5. I think season 5 is going to be a really, really good season. Of course, we're going to cover the behind the scenes of that as well, as they're going to start filming soon. Make sure you check back on the channel today, because I'm going to probably be talking about a couple of different things coming up for the rest of the season. And then, of course, in the next few weeks, we'll be really diving deep into season 4 and all the deep dives that we're going to be doing for every single episode later. So as far as we know, we've heard Dallas talk about it on a podcast that it's going to be in March sometime that these episodes start to release to the public. And then they're going to do it 2 episodes at a time, I believe, is what he said on the podcast a couple of days ago. So that will help us kind of get a better idea of where we're going in the future and be prepared for these upcoming episodes. Anyway, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.